I'm Alyssa Hankey, and I'm here for a song. 2, 3, 4.
Where you work your days in the dream of it. Yeah, they run together and they run together. The trucks are down at the rest stop. The roughnecks work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And it's a 30-mile drive to the next warehouse job.
Had me a woman, she don't give a damn. Maybe it's her, maybe it's the way I am. You're not enough when you cross the line. They tell me no one likes a silent type. So I just take it all and I throw it down. I find somebody in another. Gotta come together and you fall apart. Gotta play the game for the queen of hearts. Some days you lose, some days you win. So the story goes, it's just the way it
try your best just to make it walk. All the highways here are covered in dust. I got a foot on the gas and one on the clutch.
I had my ups, I had my downs. You gotta take them all, gotta make them count. Just to make a life that you're proud of. Don't live it twice, you only live it once. Hey, some days you lose, some days you win. So the story goes, it's just the way it is. Oh, some days you lose, some days you win. So the story goes, it's just the way it is. Da 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 da.
I was working a job that I didn't like, and it made me think about like how sometimes in life you get yourself in boxes, and some people like choose to live in those boxes and be unhappy, and then you can make a decision to be happy and get out of that and start something new.
So, do you want to say what kind of job it was?
I was working as a graphic designer, and I made food labels, and it was mostly just like the people I worked with weren't very nice and didn't really understand the creative side of a job, I guess.
So you didn't like the culture.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but this is not about graphic design. This is about like some kind of a traveling job, like a truck driver?
Yeah,
perhaps, or-
yeah. When I would drive to work, I would pass a lot of like the coal trucks. I would always get stuck behind them, and I just kind of wondered what it would be like to be like a truck driver or in that kind of just sitting and driving type of job.
And it had the analogy to the going to the job you didn't like.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
So, did this come to you like all at once? Did you take time over time to compose a song?
It kind of just came. The chorus came first, and then I kind of built it around that. But I wrote like most of the song in like one night.
Oh wow, yeah. Do you find that is common, that things come to you kind of all at once in a wave, or like do you toil over songs, like to craft them for a long time?
Sometimes it takes a while. What happens is like I think about things for a long time and they kind of manifest, and I have a couple lines in my head, and then I'll just like sit down with all that build up energy and write a song in like a night.
So you're not taking notes on the way.
No.
It's more like just saving all these different scraps of ideas.
Yeah.
How frequently do you write songs? Like,
I'm always kind of like working on songs. Like I always have something going. But I don't like I'm not always actively writing an album or anything like that. I'm just always kind of thinking and writing kind of in the back of my mind, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with like keeping those ideas alive? Because like, the brain, like, Brian Wilson, they said he went kind of crazy because he had all these songs stuck in his head and they weren't coming out, and so therefore he was getting a backlog and his brain was getting full. Like, do you find that challenge when you don't like, or do you jot down some notes about like, oh, that song title or that idea? Or
I'll definitely jot down like a title, or if I have like a couple lines, I'll write those down and I'll kind of keep them in a notebook. But I don't I don't always like just not write anything down, because then it'll just go away.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like relationships too, like examining how, why people aren't compatible, and that's kind of another trap you could find yourself into.
Mm-hmm.
Like a job, like why do you stay in that relationship? You could just go be single or find somebody else, or you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like looking at those traps that you could find yourself in life.
So just not living in discontent.
Yeah.
So taking the action out of a situation that you're not pleased
and
with.
like saying the way it is. Like some people say, well, that's just the way it is. That you just have to live with it. It's kind of like saying that, like, and how people kind of accept that, I guess.
So is that like almost tongue in cheek? Like,
yeah,
honestly?
I guess so. Yeah.
So you're saying like that's that like, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, well, there's a lot you can do.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Interesting. I like that you're the job as a graphic designer in a culture didn't like turned into like all these analogies of feeling stuck.
Yeah.
When like there are some situations that people are straight stuck in, but there's a lot more mobility than I think people give themselves credit for.
Right.
Because when you take those actions, you're to blame. Like you could stay in your job and you can blame your coworkers and you can blame your boss.
Right, exactly.
And then you're pushing the blame outward.
Right.
Where if you actually take a step and say like, I'm going to do something different, if it doesn't go right, now it's on you. Mm-hmm. You don't have those people to blame anymore. You have to accept that you tried something that didn't work.
You're accountable, yeah.